Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to Exampur. Good afternoon everyone. Today we will discuss about the mains answer writing, and we will cover a question which is related to the uh, structure or the landform developed by the air. Today we will discuss a question which is very important. The question is related to the exogenic process in the geography, geomorphology. Okay, so in the yesterday, in the last session, in the last class, we have discussed how to write an answer and what things are required, what essential things which you have to keep in your mind during the answer writing. Okay, so I hope you got that points, and today I will discuss the next things which is very important, next topic which is an important topic for your upcoming examination. This topic is also important for mains examination as well as for prelims examination. Okay, so mains answer writing is very crucial part in the civil services examination, as you know. So because all the rank or your final selection is determined by this mains examination marks. Okay, so I think you know about this, that mains examination plus the cutoff or the final merit is decided on the mains examination, or you can say the collective marks of the mains examination and the interview marks. Okay, so this is very important, and the mains answer writing is not a thing of the single day. You have to practice for a long time period. You have to make you have to make the efforts consistently. Then you will get some result after a long time period. Long means after about a month or after 15 days. Okay, so in this answer writing session, you have to maintain your consistency, and that is very important for your examination. So civil services examination is all about the consistency and the patience. Consistency and the patience are two things which is very essential for the civil services examination. Okay, so please confirm me that I'm audible and not and visible to you. My audio and the video are reaching to you properly, so please once confirm it. Okay, so today we will discuss a question, and the question is on your screen. Read the question. Question is the wind is most dominating geomorphic agent in the shaping of the Earth's surface in cold as well as in the arid climates. Explain. This is your question. Please read the question and then draft the answer of this question. First, the question, read. In the last session, I told you that you should read the question more than 2 times. At least more than 2 times you should read the question. That on the basis of the more reading, you can make the actual draft of the question. Because answer, when you, I think after I will take a session on the YouTube, how to marking is conducted in the UPSC mains examination. How marking is conducted, and this is given, this is the answer, this answer is given by the commission in the RTI. Okay, so I will I will clear it how to marking is taking place during the mains examination copy checking. Okay, so that will help you for the mains answer writing. What things you have to keep in your mind during the mains exam, during the answer writing, and what should you avoid, what is the avoidable things, and what is the acceptable things. Both are the both things are required for your better answer writing. So question is, first thing, wind is on the most dominating geomorphic agent. So there are many geomorphic agent in which wind is among of them. Okay, in the shaping of the Earth's surface. So in the morning session, I have discussed the geomorphic process. The surface, Earth's surface, or the shape of the present Earth surface is determined by the many factors. Okay, like some endogenetic forces are responsible, some exogenetic forces are responsible, and the wind is the part of the exogenic process. So there are many dominating agent or the many geomorphic agents which shape the Earth surface. So present Earth surface. So present Earth surface, the structure of the present Earth surface or the shape of the present Earth surface is determined by many agents. And in this question, we have to talk about the wind. We have to talk about the wind because this question is especially mentioned. Yeah, this question is especially focused on the wind, geomorphic agents. Okay. So in the cold as well as in the arid region. So next key point of this question is the region. Okay, so read this question and find out these things. This is the region. In this question, when you give the answer of this question, you have to focus on this region because question is asked about this region. So region is the cold and as well as the arid climatic region. Okay. Second is the which type climatic geomorphic agent is talked about in this question? Wind. Okay, wind. And the formation of the structure or the shaping of the Earth surface. So if you read the question properly, you have find it that there is a three key points or the key factors. First is the region, second is the geomorphic agent, and the role of that particular geomorphic agent in the shaping of the Earth's surface. Okay, that means you have to draft a question answer of this question. Okay, so this will help you in proper answer writing. So according to me, in the initial stage, you have to read at least 2 times question, more than 2 times. Okay, so if you read the question more than 2 times, then it makes clarity in your mind. Okay, so let us begin the answer of this question. So firstly, we should make the draft of this question. What draft is required for this question? Firstly, you have to introduce. You should maintain the introduction. Okay, introduction. What we can indulge in the introduction. Okay, what is the intro part of this question? If we start any question, if the question is directly asked about anything, but you cannot start directly. The directly starting is not a good thing. If you have the answer, if you have the word limit more, if you have this question in the 200 words, if you have the word limit 200, then introduction is the necessary part and you can expand the introduction. But if this question is asked in the 150 words, then you have to reduce the you should reduce the words of the introduction. Your introduction will be contract. Okay, so introduction. Then the main part of this question. The main part is the surface or the structure or shape made by the wind. Structure and the shape made by the wind. This is the second part of this or the main body of the question, main part of this answer. Structure or the shape made by the wind. And the structure or any factor, if any factor is working, if any factor is responsible for the formation of any shape, then it is not same at the all or the entire area. In this question, there has been asked that the role of the wind in the 2 different regions. First, in the cold areas, which type of shape wind form in the cold area or the cold region, and which type of the structure or the shape is formed by the wind in the arid region. So role of the wind in the 2 different regions are different. Cold region, the role of the wind is different, and the role of the wind in the arid region is the different. Which type of structure? What is the name of the structure in the cold region? You have to mention in your answer. And what is the role? What is the name of the structure? You should mention in your answer. If you have the space, if you have the scope, you can explain that particular structures or you can define that particular structures. Okay, so firstly, you should make this type of the draft in the rough work area. Okay, so main body, the structure made by and the shape made by the wind in the different region, cold and the arid region, what is, and define that particular structure and the shapes in the both areas, and then after conclude your answer. Conclusion means what should be indulged or inducted in the conclusion. Conclusion is always at the optimistic conclusion. What is the positivity? Always try to make a positive conclusion. Always try to make a positive conclusion, because positive conclusion shows that you are a positive personality. Okay, so it would be help you in the fetching the mark by the examiner. Okay, you can fetch the mark from the examiner by the positive and optimistic conclusion. So always try to make the better conclusion. Okay, so if you make the draft, Varsha Chamoli, good afternoon sir. आवाज नहीं आ रही थी. This is my first class under your session. आवाज नहीं आ रही. Are you clear now? My voice is clear. Varsha, good afternoon बेटा. आवाज नहीं आ रही थी, आ रही. This is my first class under your session. Okay. Please confirm me that I am audible now or not. At this time, am I audible or not? Please confirm, Varsha. Or anyone, please confirm me that at the present time I am audible or not. At the present time I am audible or not. Everything is okay from this end, and please check at your end that is there any problem. So in this at this end everything is okay, voice is clear. So I think I should continue. Okay, so this is your drafting. This is your main drafting. If you want to write an answer, you should draft this type of in this way in your rough work during practices. If you practicing with this, then it would be helpful. I think there is no requirement during your examination. You can draft the question in your mind. But in the initial stage, when you are practicing, when you are trying to start the mains answer writing, then it is the necessary part. You can make this draft in your rough work or the rough areas. Okay, so we should move from this region. The first thing, if we want to start, and as I told you that the diagram, pictures, this is the very essential thing for the geography. In the geography answer writing, these are the very important things. If we start the things, firstly, ways of the wind erosion. Firstly, you should introduce the answer that the wind. This is not the introduction. If you introduce the first introduction, you should write the introduction. The shape of the, you can start the present shape of the earth. Present shape. What is the question? Present shape of Earth's surface. Surface is the result of geomorphic processes. Geomorphic processes. in which there are many geomorphic agents have crucial role in which wind is also plays a vital role. Okay, I can differentiate. We should differentiate. This is the in which wind is also plays a vital role in the shaping of Earth's surface. Okay, in the Earth's surface. This is your introduction. This should be your introduction, a simple introduction. That means the geomorphic processes or the shape of the presented Earth is not only the result of only one factor. It is the result of many geomorphic processes, and that geomorphic processes is caused by the many different geomorphic agent, and that agent, one is the important agent is the wind. And now you should orient your question, you should orient your answer into the wind erosion. Okay, so how many type of the wind erosion, or how many ways of the wind erosion is taking place? You should clear there this thing. So if you make this diagram before the writing in the paragraph, this is a very impressive. This would be very impressive. And you should maintain, or you should make this type of the drafting. You should make this type of the triangular. If you want to some innovative idea, if you draw some innovative things in your answer, then it would be impress your examiner or the copy checker. Okay, so ways of the wind erosion. How many type of the wind erosion is taking place? First, deflation, that is the removing and the carrying away dust particle by the winds. Firstly, if wind is blowing, that it will create the velocity. If the wind is blowing with some velocity, and velocity, due to the velocity, this generate the force, and if this force is hitting on the any surface, then it would create that it would debond or the it would create the weakening the bonds of that particular rocks or the soil or the any land surface. If the bonding of the particular rock and the soil is getting weaker, then it would be displaced from that particular area. So firstly, deflation, that is the removing and the carrying away the dust particle. So if the wind is moving with the speed of with the velocity of with the effect of the wind, the dust particle is moving along with the winds. So this is the removing and the carrying away the dust particles. This is called the deflation. The first, if you write this deflation, if the copy checker look the deflation, that means he understand that you have the idea about the wind erosion. So such type diagram or the figure draw the attention of the copy checker, and if you made the correct thing in your copy, then the examiner can conclude that the student have the idea or the student have the knowledge. So it will help you in the next answers, or it will help you in the next thing. If you make any mistakes, then that mistake can be ignored if you make such type of innovative idea in your answer. Okay, so second one is the abrasion. Abrasion means sand grain loaded wind erode the rock by the grinding against its wall. Abrasion is also the method of the wind erosion. If the sand grain is, if any wind has the sand grain, and that sand grain is colliding, or that sand grain is collision with the rock surface, then due to the rock surface collision, two matters collide with each other, then there is a erosion take place, that is called the abrasion. This type of the erosion is called the abrasion. This abrasion is taking place. The third one is the attrition. Attrition, that is wears and the tears of the sand particle during the transportation. Okay, so if the attrition means if the sand particles is moving with the air, then the sand particles also collide with each other, and after the collision of this particular air, the sand particles also break into the teeny particles, and this is the attrition. So there are three terms, that is the attrition, deflation and the abrasion. If you mention these terms, then it would be very impressive for examiner or impressive for the copy checker. Okay, so make this type of the ways of the wind erosion. How many type of the way, how many ways are there for the wind erosion? So this is the wind erosion ways. Okay, so next is the how the wind erosion take place in the cold climatic zone. How the wind erosion take place in the cold climatic zone. Okay, so in the cold climatic zone, wind plays an important role in the cold climatic geomorphology. Main reason why this play the main important wind plays the main role in the cold climatic zone. If you moved in the cold climatic zone, according to the climatology study of the climatology, you know about that the cold wind is the heavier winds, and the heavier winds, that means the heavier winds, if the heavier winds is moving, then the force generation by the heavier winds is relatively high. Okay, so heavier winds, the main reason, high frequency of the strong winds and the storms in the Arctic. So main reasons, what are the main reasons? Because the Arctic region or the northern pole region, this is the region where the intensity of the air or the intensity of the stormy air is high. If the stormy air or the intensity or the frequency of the air is high, then it is very easy to make any type of the structure, and this make the easy to make or the form any rock or the to make the rock decomposition form or the decomposition of the rock. So in the simple way, if you understand that if any heavy air or the frequent air, if any region realizes the frequent storm, that frequent storm will hit the rock which is found there, and that rock, after the continuous hitting of the air, that rock get looser the bonding, losing their bonding between the rocks. So if the bonding between the rocks will get the loose, then after some time that particular rock will destroy or that rock will be break. Okay, so first is the high frequency of the strong wind and the storm in the Arctic region. You should mention this type of the point, and you have to you should write this thing into the point wise. So second point is the low precipitation. In this region there is a low precipitation, and the low precipitation is also responsible factor for this. The reduction of the vegetation cover by the cold region, or in the cold region, you can say it, cover in the cold region. So understand here, if any region is there and this region is covered with the vegetation, if any region is covered with the vegetation, so vegetation grabs this vegetation make the hold, or the roots of the vegetation make the hold in the soil, and it grab or it can trap the soil with their roots. Okay, so with the root nodules it can trap the soil, so it is not easy task to decompose or to make the loose bonding between these of this soil. And on the surface, if the vegetation occurs, then it make the hurdle in the speed of the air or the wind. If the vegetation is found over the surface, then it would control the speed of the wind. If the speed of the wind is controlled, then if the speed of the wind is controlled, then the erosional capacity of the wind will reduce. Erosional capacity of the wind will be reduces. Okay, so if the any region where there is a no vegetation, there is a no sufficient amount of the vegetation is found, that region is the most prone area or the most prone wind eroded area. That is, there is a chances to wind erosion because the speed of the wind is high and this region is the dry and there is a no grabbing, there is a no trapping of the soil by the roots, so it can be easily erode. It can be easily erode. So this is why this is the important point, reduction of the vegetation covered with the cold, which increased by the wind blowing away and the snow exposing the ground surface, leading to the destruction of the vegetation. So this is also an important topic point, why this region face the more erosion than the other area. So in the cold region, these are the factors by which the wind speed or the wind region is wind erosion is important, and wind plays a vital role in the formation of the shape of the earth surface. Okay, तो shape of the earth surface में wind का कैसा योगदान या रोल होगा यहाँ पे. So next is the impact on the landscapes and the landforms by the winds in the cold region. Why the cold winds are effective in the cold region? The factors and the regions. What are the landforms is formed by the winds in the cold region? Extremely strong winds are well known both from Arctic and the Antarctica. If you read about the wind in the climatology, you understand that these region faces the strong wind blowing. Okay, strong wind blowing. That is, speed of the wind is very high. If you studied the westerlies, the speed of the westerlies in the southern hemisphere is very high. That is very destructive winds. Okay, so the speed of the wind in the polar region is very high. If you read about the a wind that is called the, I'm forgetting the name. The name of the wind is the local wind. When I get, I will tell you. I'm forgetting the name of the wind that local wind that is blowing from the North Pole toward the Canada, and blizzard. The name of the wind is the blizzard. Blizzard. This is the strong cold wind. This is the strong cold wind. Okay. So such type wind is covered in this region, which is cold region. So in the South Victoria Land, Antarctica, and the both sides of the peninsula of the West Antarctica, where rock is exposed, denudation is the powerful as the result of the summer insolation, frost weathering, and the strong winds. So these are the features, these are the phenomena by which there is a exogenetic forces is working, or the exogenetic phenomena is सर स्पीड कितना होता है? स्पीड जो है वो 150 किलोमीटर पर आवर, 160 to 180 किलोमीटर पर आवर. ठीक है. सुलभ यादव, हेलो. ओके, स्पीड इज वेरी हाई. The violent wind acts as the formative agency on the rock and the snow surfaces. And this violent wind, that means why the violent wind? This is a high speed wind. This high speed wind make the formative agency of the rock and the snow surface. So it make the structure, or it make the shape of the rock and the snow. So this is important thing in this region. So next points, or the next factors which is responsible. Lack of the vegetation in the pre-glacial areas greatly increase the efficiency of the wind. So pre-glacial areas, or the areas where the vegetation is low, this make the speed of the wind is high. Okay, so the transport snow, dust, and the sand creates a small heaps of the coarse detrital material like those in stony desert. It polishes boulders and bedrocks. It furrows the snow and the shape into the sharp edged sastrugi. Okay, so sastrugi. If the strong wind is coming there with the snow and the dust, then if this strong wind is come into this region, then all the dust particle, all the heavier material is started to deposit it there. If it started to deposit there, then it will form the shape, and that particular shape is called the sastrugi in this region. Sharp edge sastrugi. You can underline out this point in your answer. So such type of the deposition material is called the such type this structure, and this is called the sastrugi. So in the Antarctica and Arctic region, which type of the landscape or the land structure is formed by the strong winds? You have to look there. Arctic and Antarctica are characterized by the strangely eroded rocks. If you go in this region, then you will look that there is a strongly eroded rocks. Why this is strongly eroded rock? Because of the high speed of the wind. That means the surface consists the strongly eroded rocks, and that means why this surface consists the strongly eroded rocks? Because of the wind. So wind has a crucial role in the formation of the such type shape of the earth surface at this colder region. Okay, special wind formed lakes. The lakes which is formed by the wind. If the wind is moving from the with a high speed, if the wind is moving with a high speed, then it remove the glacier or it remove the ice from that particular region. If the one region is get empty from the speed of the wind by the glacier or the snow, then there is a creation of the lake, and that particular lake is the glacial lakes, and the lakes which is formed by the wind, speed of the wind. This is the wind form the lakes. Dunes and the lowest deposits. Lowest deposits means the dunes, that means upward direction. एक जो इस टाइप से स्ट्रक्चर का फॉर्मेशन होता है, that is the dunes. Lowest deposits. If any sediment is deposited on the land surface, this is from the plain or the lowest deposit. That means the sand particles or the sediments which is carrying with the wind is deposited at that particular region. This is the lowest. That or their formation of the wind erosion controlled by the snow cover and the frost formation. Okay. And that or their formation to wind erosion controlled by the snow cover and the frost formation. So in this region there is this feature has been looking. So the secondary effect of the wind in the cold environment. The secondary effect of the wind is also seen in this region. Okay, Shivam Tiwari. Snow drift and accumulation, glacial formation, permafrost formation, deflation features which could be later be lake basins, and the deposits of the mineral material together with the snow, so-called Navio-Heolin deposits. So it is called the Navio-Heolin deposits. Aeolin deposits, and it is called the Heolin deposits. So if the if the wind is strongly moving, then the snow drift. Snow drift means snow movement of the slow movement of the snow. Slow movement of the snow is looking at that particular. If you seen the slow movement of the snow, the drifting of the snow. Next is the accumulation of the snow. If the wind is moving, if the snow is the decomposed form, and the ice is the strong form. The bonding between the ice molecules is strong, and snow is not as much strong like the ice. So if the wind is blowing, then it can carry the snow, and the particular region it can the snow get accumulated. So accumulation of the snow. If you're moving at that particular region, then you looked at the accumulation of the snow. Okay, on the surface. Glacial formation. This is also formation for the glacial formation. Permafrost, a region which is covered with the cold region, there is permafrost formation. Okay, deflation feature, there is a deflation feature. Lake basins are seen there. See, okay, deposition of the minerals material together with the snow. If the wind is moving at that particular region and snow is moving, some minerals, if the some minerals is grabbed with that particular snow, or the some mineral is associated with their with the snow, then snow, if the snow get accumulated at particular region, then the mineral is also getting accumulated with the snow. So accumulation of the mineral in this region. Okay, material together with the snow. So this type of the deposits is called the Nevio-Heolin deposits. You can underline this in the your copy. So such type deposition is seen in the region. So, okay, so deflation of the snow. What is the meaning of the deflation of the snow? Deflation of the snow cover can increase the thickness of the permafrost. So this will increase the thickness of the permafrost, and that is why the shape of the earth surface will change. And pattern go which has connection with the wind's activity. Okay, so this pattern is also, so it develop if the snow is covered here. Suppose this is the snow region, and the some snow is moved from the this region along with the air and deposited in this region. So the thickness of the permafrost is relatively high in this region. So if you look the structure or the shape, then this region is low, below, and this region is upper part is the high. And again if you move this region, again is the low region. So shape of the surface is determined by this activity. Shape of the surface is determined by this activity. What is the lowest? Lowest formation is the formation or the lowest formation or the lowest deposition. Lowest is basically the phenomena or the structure which is caused by the deposition. Okay, if the wind is moving from a particular region and the wind carried the some particle along with them, and when the speed of the wind is reducing, then these particles started to deposit at that particular surface, and this type of deposition is called the lowest deposition. So lowest deposition is taking place in both areas, in the cold region and in the arid region. So lowest, if you look the lowest example, the example of the lowest is seen in the south of the Gobi Desert in the China, lowest plain, the basin of the Huanghe River in the China. Okay, so lowest is the fine mineral rich dust which accumulating at the edge of the desert. Okay, so lowest from the Gobi to Korea, Japan, Taiwan, and the even western USA, blowing east to lowest deposits are found in the northern China. Okay, so lowest develops into the very fragile agricultural soil. Lowest plain, you understand what is the lowest deposition. Lowest deposition is taking place in both condition, in both areas, in this region and in the colder region. Okay, colder region and the arid region both have the lowest deposition feature. Now that we have discussed the things about the wind erosion or the wind activities in the cold region. Now we should discuss the wind activities or the shape of the earth surface or the shape of the surface in the arid and the semi-arid region. So what is the role of the wind in the arid and the semi-arid region? What is the role of the wind in the formation of the for shaping of the earth surface in the arid and the semi-arid region? So second thing, in the semi-arid region or in the arid climatic zone, some landforms is developed by the wind erosion. There is two phenomena. Some landforms is developed by the erosional activity, and some landform is developed by the depositional activity. So you should mention the erosional as well as the depositional activity. So some structure or some shape on the surface is developed by the depositional activity. Which of the surface, which of the landform is, which of the structure is developed by the depositional activity? The first is the mushroom rock. If you move into any desert region, you look that there is a mushroom rocking, and in the prelims examination, I hope you have studied about this mushroom rock. What is the mushroom rock? Okay, so mushroom rock, if any rock is existing there and due to the impact of the wind, the lower section of the rock is eroded, and then this type of the structure is moving. This type of structure is remain, and such type of structure is called the mushroom rock, because this section has been eroded by the winds. This section has been eroded by wind. In initial stage, this rock was looking like this, but after the erosion this section has been removed, and if this section has been removed, then the present time this rock is looking like this, and the such type rock is called the mushroom rock. Such type rock is termed as the mushroom rock. Look, this is the mushroom rock. So example of this mushroom rock. Okay, you can make the diagram. Deflation basin or the blowout formed by the removal of the particles by the wind. If the this is formed by the removal of the particles by the wind. If the wind remove the particles from particular region, then this is the deflation basins or the blowout basin can be formed. Inselberg or the monadnock, not monadnock. This is the monadnock. It is the isolated hill rising abruptly from the level of the surrounding plain. This type of the hill region, this is called the, after the, if you study the, if you anyone has the geography optional, then you have studied the erosional cycle. You have studied the erosional cycle. In the erosional cycle, you have studied the monadnock. Okay, not monadnock. This is the monadnock. So if the any hilly region that has been eroded, but it is the its altitude is relatively high than the related surface, then such type the residue section is called the monadnock. So in the arid region, you look the monadnock structure. Okay, yardang. These are the ridge of the rock formed parallel to the prevailing wind's direction. If the prevailing winds is moving in this direction, this type of the yardang structure is formed. Wind bridges, you look in the this structure, such type structure is called the wind bridges. If one rock is established there, due to the erosion of the wind, one hole is created in this region. One hole, that means this section has been removed due to erosional activities, and due to the wind erosional activities, this section has been removed, and this type of the structure, then this rock is converting in this area, in this type, in this shape, and such type shape is called the wind bridge. So if you move at this region, you look this type of the wind bridge, you look the mushroom rock. If you move, this is the brittle condition. So this is the landform by the wind erosion. These are the landform by the wind erosion. राधिका सिंह सर, हिंदी मीडियम में नहीं पढ़ाते हो? पढ़ाता हूँ हिंदी मीडियम में. उसके लिए आप IAS PCS बाय एग्जामपुर पे सुबह 10 बजे आओ, ठीक है? सुबह 10 बजे आपको हिंदी मीडियम में भी क्लासेस मिलती हैं. दिस चैनल इज ओनली डेडिकेटेड टू द इंग्लिश मीडियम स्टूडेंट, सो देयर इज अ compulsion to teach in the English. So यहाँ पे हिंदी मीडियम में पढ़ना है तो आपको उधर आ जाओ. मैं दोनों में पढ़ाता हूँ, इंग्लिश और हिंदी दोनों में, ठीक है? तो वहाँ भी पढ़ सकते हो आप, यहाँ भी पढ़ सकते हो. अगर वहाँ पे आपको पढ़ना है तो वहाँ पे सुबह 10 बजे, कब? मंडे टू फ्राइडे 10 बजे आपको क्या हो गए, मंडे टू फ्राइडे आपको GC लियोंग सेक्शन में कवर करवा रहा हूँ, वहाँ पे आप आ जाओ, ठीक है? IAS PCS बाय एग्जामपुर यूट्यूब चैनल पे. नेम ऑफ द यूट्यूब चैनल इज द IAS PCS by example. Okay. The next structure is the demoiselles. The rock pillars formed by the differential erosion of the layers in the resistant rock above the soft rock. Okay, these are the structure. Zeusen, it is the table shaped rock formed when the more resistant rock is the reduced at the slower rate of the softer rock. So if this is the rock and this is the hard rock and this is the soft rock, if the hard rock is located above the soft rock and erosion, wind has impact of the wind in this region, and this part is eroded and the soft rock got eroded by this region, then now this type of structure is formed, and this type of structure is called the Zeusen. This type of structure is called the Zeusen in the arid region. So these are the structures. These are the structures. So that structure is developed by the erosional activities of the wind in the arid region. And now we have a look on the, we should look on the erosion activities or the landforms developed by the depositional activity, depositional landform. So due to the depositional, first is the ripple marks. Ripple marks means such type ripple marks is happening during the deposition of the deposition. If the wind is moving along with the deposits after covering distance, after a distance, when they started to deposit that particular sediments, and such type ripples is looking at this region, and this is called the ripple marks. If you look any desert area, then you look at the any ripples, some ripples are there, and such type of deposition is called the ripple marks. So this structure, this surface, sand dunes, these are the mounds of the sand. If the sands are stored at that particular region in the desert, this type of is called the sand dunes. So if you move in the arid region, if you move in the desert area, then you look that there is a sand dunes are located at the in the gap of the some distance. Okay, so this is the sand dunes. Longitudinal dunes, there is a longitudinal dunes. Some this type of structure has been seen in this region. Okay, so these are the structures. Transverse dune, aeroplanktons. So this is the structures, this is the shape of the earth surface which is developed by the deposition of the depositional activities of the wind. Okay, so due to the depositional activities of the wind, this type of the structure. So write the transverse dunes, aeroplanktons. Okay, aeroplanktons, and then you should jump on the your conclusion. What should be your conclusion? So read the conclusion very carefully. Wind erosion and the transport of the dust particle from the deserts plays an important role in the ecosystem. Okay, this also plays an important role in the ecosystem, because due to this transportation, some minerals is also transported from one area to another area, and that minerals are required for the plants, that minerals are required for the organism, and that organism utilize that minerals and started to form their food, or they are very useful for that particular organism. So it is very useful. So wind movement is very required thing on the earth surface. You cannot say that you could not, you never want to say, or you never say that the wind should be stopped. Wind movement is a continuous movement, or the natural movement, it always be continue. So wind, due to the wind movement, the minerals are transporting from one area to another area. So by transport of the minerals from the Sahara to the Amazon basin, okay, so Amazon basin, the movement of the, due to the movement of the wind, the minerals are moving from the Sahara region. Sahara is the region in the Africa, and the Amazon basin is the region which is located in the South America. So if there is a transcontinental movement of the minerals, transcontinental movement of the minerals only because of the wind blowing. So wind has a crucial role in the supply of the minerals in one continent to another continent. So it never would be stopped. So okay, it never would be stopped. It is Sahara dust is also responsible for the forming the red clay soils in the southern Europe. So Sahara dust, Sahara desert is also responsible for formation of the soil in the southern Europe. That means the Sirocco wind. Sirocco wind is moving from the northern Sahara to the southern Europe, and this carry the red particles, the red sand particles along with them, and deposited that particles into the southern Europe, and that is responsible for the formation of the soil. So it is important. The Indian monsoon gets enhanced by the Arabian dust, that has this benefit by the farmers. So this dust is also important. This dust is also important, and this dust make the hygroscopic nuclei. This dust play the role of the hygroscopic nuclei. Hygroscopic nuclei is helping hygroscopic nuclei helps in the formation of the cloud. In the condensation, this is very important thing. If this hygroscopic nuclei if there is an absence of the hygroscopic nuclei, there is a no chance to rainfall. So Indian subcontinent also get benefited by this type of the dust particles. So wind blowing is a compulsory section. It should be continue, and all the things are related to the wind section, wind movement is be continue. So this is the positive conclusion. It is the positive. This is called the positive conclusion, and I hope आपको चीजें समझ में आई होंगी. I hope you enjoy this. So if you understand the things, please be continue with us. And today, next class, tomorrow I will take the same class at the 1 p.m. So you will continue with the mains answer writing. Tomorrow I will discuss the new section. Okay, new question that will help you in your examination. So please share this session as much as possible. Okay, and subscribe this channel. This channel is completely dedicated. This channel is formed due to for the help you, the student or the aspirant which are keen to prepare or who are preparing for the English for the UPSC in the English medium. This channel is very helpful for you. So please do subscribe this channel and be continue on this channel from morning to evening. Everyone, our all team is completely dedicated to make you success. Okay, so please continue on this platform and subscribe this channel. Okay, thank you so much.